Hello and welcome to our 60 Hours for 60 Years celebration. This special campaign is another milestone event in our 60th anniversary. I invite you to spend the next few minutes with us as some of the most recognizable and iconic personalities from our 60-year history share their thoughts and memories of how St. Viator has transformed their lives. I hope their message will inspire you to support our tuition assistance program. Thank you for your partnership. God bless, and happy 60th to St. Viator High School.
A Viatorian is called to proclaim Jesus and His gospel and to build up faith communities where faith is lived, deepened, and celebrated.
The Viatorians were master teachers. They set the bar high, and you wanted to mirror that. You wanted to be every bit as polished as they were.
I was fortunately here at a time when there were a lot of Viatorians that were in teaching roles and administrative roles, some of the most iconic figures in the history of the clerics of St. Viator. And they became close friends. They were mentors to a lot of us.
The Viatorians were not afraid to try something new. Never got discouraged, and their goal was always, we can do this better. We can do this better. And as you can see what's happening in education, you can do it better. You better do it better.
Clerics at St. Viator should get all the credit. Really built this school, nurtured it, and a lot of great kids were turned out of this place, and you got to give them all the credit. I was just a little part, and I enjoyed myself. There's no doubt about that, being at St. Viator.
When I came to Viator in 1986, it was all boys, and the numbers were going down. And a year later, we were co-ed, and we merged with a girls' school, and a brand new school was born.
When the school became co-ed, I actually taught a math class of all boys and one girl, and then I would call groups of kids up to the board. Well, I mean, I had to call her with a bunch of boys up there, and I mean, she was really something.
Even though the pedagogy has changed and the way we teach has changed, the type of teacher is still the same. And that's why I think we have so many alumni come back. In the English department alone, we have 3 alumni teaching because we all feel that sense of community when we were here, and we want to have that for our students as well.
This past year, I received an award for being a master teacher for mobile apps. And I think it was one of the coolest things that my students can see, just because they saw that I'm not done learning. And I think it just shows parents that we're committed to educating the student, but also showing a good example that, you know, that we want their students to become lifelong learners too.
Most of our students are student athletes. A lot of our students are even in multiple sports. So it's a major part of the student experience here at St. Viator, just because so many students are involved in sports.
You know, there's a lot of pride here in our sports programs. Nobody was going to hurt the team by screwing off, and those are kind of traditions that were passed on by those who were older, and imparting their wisdom to us was important to them, and therefore we took that as a tradition that we needed to do that and pass it on.
I'm gonna miss the football games and going to them and being in the stands with everybody, but it's not just the football games. It's, for example, the girls' volleyball run to state. That was so much fun, along with our run to state when I was on the soccer team. Just looking out in the stands and seeing all of these people that you don't necessarily know their name, but you know they go to your school. There's just nothing like that.
Well, for me, at St. Viator, athletics was very important. I think it was a recruiting tool. It was just everything. Kids gravitated towards St. Viator because of athletics.
Football, basketball, whatever the sport was, always a huge turnout. The gym was packed. The stands were packed.
Rivalry games are still bring a lot of fun. They still bring the communities together, and there's just still a whole sense of investment from not just the players and the coaches, but from the whole community, in both communities.
Here at St. Viator, our students are in all different places in their faith. So what we do here is meet students where they're at so that they can continue to deepen their faith and build that relationship with God through the community that they experience here by being of service to others, by going on retreats, and participating in community prayer.
Kairos is just this time as seniors where you're coming to the realization that your time at Viator is coming to an end. So it is an opportunity for us to look at our faith and determine for ourselves. It's no longer a parent's choice, it's our choice on whether we want to pursue our faith.
My own children who graduated from Viator went on retreats. They went on Kairos retreats. They still save their Kairos letters all these years later. They have all gone into helping professions, and I credit St. Viator with a lot of that.
I have very close high school friends to this day. If I had an issue, I could get 25 guys at my door in a moment's notice, and they would be happy to be there. These are lifelong relationships that I made here, and they continue to this day.
Coming into St. Viator thinking that I would just stick with my closest friends, coming from St. James, but now I look at my closest friends and we're from all different schools, and it's bonds from not only just sports or extracurriculars, it's clubs, and then there were classes that we had together.
If you're talking about the earliest years, technology was basically pencil, paper, and a slide rule.
So technology is incorporated into academics through all the different facets here at St. Viator.
Within our 3D design classes, we utilize 3D printers, so that's kind of like a new emerging technology that we utilize in our classes.
The STEM program has grown from 50 to 60 students, and now we're about 150 students. We've also increased the opportunities we've offered for students. In this past year, we've worked with a company called Engineering Tomorrow and provided our students with an opportunity to participate in different virtual labs.
And go back and look at St. Viator. Look at how many valedictorians were either in band or in choir or in the musical or all three. It's eye-opening. They managed somehow in their busy schedule with AP classes to fit the arts in.
Students should experience the fine arts at St. Viator because it does activate their right side of the brain, and they become whole brain learners, and that allows them to succeed in whatever class that they choose to take in the future, or a degree that they decide to pursue in college.
The musical is very important to St. Viator High School. It started back in 1966 when they brought Mr. Stamm in to have the first, and for a long time, the only co-ed activity that they had. And it just got bigger and better, and kids got more confidence, and it became an event.
This really is my second family. I had no trouble getting up and go to work. You know, people said, how the hell could you be a dean for 35 years? I said, because I love it. This is a good place to work. They're good people to work with.
I'm really hopeful that when our students graduate from St. Viator, they have not only the academic formation, but also the social emotional formation, and also like the Catholic and Viatorian formation to really like discern what God is calling them to do, and to take everything that they've learned in their 4 years here and put that into practice beyond the walls of St. Viator.
As a legacy student, there were so many opportunities for me to become involved at St. Viator, being invited to basketball games and football games, and just the tradition of love and family is just one that has always been present for me, and I'm very lucky that I will graduate and be an alumni of St. Viator, and that community and love will follow me wherever I go.
On behalf of the students, faculty, staff, and administration, I would like to thank all of the 60 for 60 sponsors, auction donors, and those that have already made a gift. And to each of you watching this video, thank you as well. You played a role in making St. Viator High School the great school it is today. You helped build our proud past, and with your continued support, we will be able to build a strong future for generations of young adults. God bless and go Lions.